Okay, I skinned around the belly pretty good. Not all the way around, but just going to show you this front leg area here. What I like to do is try to peel around with your hands, and if you can, because what we want to do is work the skin down. Now, okay, my goal is to try to skin this thing out without putting extra holes in it. So I'm pretty meticulous about skinning and trying not to put any holes in them. So any more than, I think he has 2 broad head holes in them already. So you can see my thumb work through here, and this is a pretty small critter, so I'm going to put some pressure there to start rolling it down its leg here. So you'll see that the skin holds pretty tight here to the leg. You need a little cutting. Just cut and try to pull, cut and try to pull, just like so. Okay. What I like to do on my foxes is probably about a 3-inch cut or so. It's more of a relief cut. Some people don't. I find a lot of times on foxes that you do need to do that. It might not have to be 3 inches. Let's see how it inverts down here. Make sure when you're in this type of area here, make sure you cut in, because that's the area there you probably have some hairs, and back of the leg here. Okay. Now I'm going to carefully keep pulling down. Word of caution is keep on the lookout for ticks, things like that, while you're skinning. Just because you're not deer hunting in the woods doesn't mean your critters aren't bringing things in. I just killed a tick a few moments ago. I see them on the table. I take my scalpel, cut them right in 2, and there you go. That helps them out. Not really, but that kills them pretty good. So, it's a word of caution to you. Okay. All right. Now you can see we're at this point here, almost to the foot. Okay. Now, if you're not comfortable, what we could do, you can see we've gone down here this leg. If you're not comfortable at this point, just reinvert it. Okay. And what I mean by that is reinvert it. Then we're going to make our cut through this skin here. Okay. So we got the pad. I'm going to cut right through the pad, okay, and make a nice straight cut. Usually I'll cut 3 inches or so, but this one we'll try a 2-inch cut, a relief cut. If we need to make it bigger to get it on this form, we can do so. Okay, so foxes, a lot of times you need relief cuts. So all 4 legs will have a relief cut, and you don't need to rug cut them. It's not necessarily make all those cuts, but you can see this incision through the pad and probably about a 2-inch or so cut. Now I'm going to roll it back. Okay, don't be scared when you see a hole now, because we put a hole. Okay. So I'm going to roll this, keep rolling this down. And that's why we do this, because it just sticks so tight. The skin sticks so tight in this area right here. So some guys, they won't. They'll work it and just tube the leg all the way out. You know, like I said, most foxes, it seems that you're going to have to cut it anyway to get it on the form. So now don't forget that side digit here. Okay. And if you don't know where it's at, I could feel it, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut that bone right there. There's the little toe on the side here, okay? Now I just take my snips, wire cutters, and let's keep working this down here, okay? We don't want to spend 2 hours skinning this thing out. You know, a fox, after you get a few under your belt, it might take you 45 minutes or so. Some guys that do foxes all the time, it might be less than that. So it's not a race, but the goal is to not leave this thing so unprotected. So, you know, you want to have salt on it, or get it in a tan or freezer or pickle solution or something. You don't want to leave the skin raw for too long a time here. Okay, so we're coming down here. You can see their little feet. You can see the size of that. Not very big. Very, very small area to contend with. But what I do is I peel this down with my fingers. I'll run my fingers through so I'm not poking holes with my scalpel. And what I do, a lot of guys will continue to roll down. What I'll do for now is cut right at the last joint with these snips here. And just try not to cut through the skin too. You just want to cut through the bone. Okay. Now when we mount this thing, we're going to be rebuilding that as well. So I'm just cutting at the joint here. Okay. Cutting through the tendons. Just working it down till I feel the nail. Okay. Okay. Alright. There you go. That's one leg out. I'm going to do the other front leg where it continued down.